This L2C Media Network. And this, for want of a better word, is the Sports Final with Steve X-Man Baxley. We're late because we have to follow sports broadcasting rules. So here's Steve. Hey, thank you very much. Hey, hi, how are you? And as you can see, finally decided to take that lovely shower, so I feel as fresh as a daisy. Anyway, the one thing I know is if we had background noise over there with the TV, we would surely have a copyright strike. So the TV sort of muted, so we don't have to worry about a copyright strike. Lovely rules we have to follow, but still, we follow them. Yesterday, Dan Patrick and the kind and benevolent folks of his staff reported that the Big Ten was going to cancel their season. Everybody went with it. Then the Big Ten sort of had an announcement saying, in essence, that y'all nuts, we're going to play. Well, guess what? We should have listened to Dan Patrick more. Big Ten announced that they're going to cancel their big saison. That's right. The Big Ten presidents, they did hold a vote, and Dan Patrick was right. Always listen to Dan Patrick. What he's talking about, and he talked about it yesterday, and we should have all listened. Hi there. We weren't going to the scoreboard yet. We're not going to the scoreboard yet, boys. Please, regardez. All right, folks. And, well, what can we say except oi and vey? The Big Ten and the Pac-12 joined the MAC, and I think a couple of independents. That's right. Two of the college football's powerhouse conferences, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, will not play football in the fall amid the ongoing coronavirus concerns. Now, while the decisions weren't necessarily shocking, they were nevertheless devastating to players, coaches, fans, administrators, and many others. In particular, Big Ten leaders did not mince words when it came to their disappointment in Tuesday's news. A statement from Nebraska, for example, indicated the Cornhuskers hoped it would, quote, be possible for our student athletes to have the opportunity to compete. Suffice to say, the Huskers weren't the only ones frustrated with the news. Coaches and star players from the Big Ten and Pac-12 took to social media to express their views. Some, like USC coach Clay Helton, released full statements acknowledging their disappointment but supporting the decision. We read the statement as follows. Today, guided by the recommendations of our doctors and medical professionals, the Pac-12 Conference has decided to postpone the 2020 football season. While I am extremely disappointed that our student athletes, coach, and staff will not get the opportunity to compete at this time, we will always support the decisions that are made to protect the health and safety of our players and staff. I'm very proud of how our football team has conducted themselves, and for all the hard work they have put in this year in prep for a season. Our university and athletic department are committed to providing all the services for our student athletes to function at the highest level, both academically and athletically. while following all the county, state, and national guidelines. I'm confident that we will come out of this a stronger, more resilient football team and look forward to getting the opportunity to compete and showcase all the hard work that has been put in. Together, we will continue to fight on. Others, like Ohio State quarterback and Heisman Trophy candidate Justin Fields and Arizona State quarterback Jalen Daniels, said, well, much more by typing out far less. For Justin Fields, it was SMH, shaking my head. For Jalen Daniels, that's wicked. Wisconsin defensive back Eric Burrell pointed out that if the season is delayed until the spring, turning around playing in the fall of 2021 would present major problems. Wisconsin Athletic Director Barry Alvarez also pointed to the financial implication of canceling football in the fall, which will likely result in more layoffs within college athletics. USC coach Chip Kelly weighed in Tuesday night with a detailed account of the experiences his family and team have gone through with COVID-19. And let's put it this way. How about the poor networks that will have to find some alternate programming to fill the spots vacated by the Big Ten, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, the MAC, and two independent groups. But all is not lost, gentle humans, because there is one group of folk that are saying to hell with the cancellations. That's right, the Big 12 is proceeding towards playing in 2020, despite the Big 10 and Pac-12 cancellations. The Big 12's presidents have decided to allow their conference to proceed toward playing the 2020 college football season this fall, despite the Big 10 and Pac-12 canceling their seasons on Tuesday. Multiple conference sources told CBS Sports on Tuesday night. League sources said earlier that Big 12 was leaning in that direction prior to an evening conference call. Now, the Big 12 will announce its schedule, consisting of 9 conference games and 1 non-conference showdown tomorrow morning with a start date of September 26th, the traditional Week 4. Conference sources told CBS Sports the SEC is also starting that date, while the ACC aims to begin the week of September 7th. Now, on Tuesday night's call, the Big 12 presidents heard from medical experts before going into executive session to discuss new information they learned about COVID-19 and the ongoing pandemic. The Big 12 presidents were expected to be joined by league athletic directors for another conference call by the end of the evening on the topic of the viability of playing college football this fall. Coming out of the calls, Big 12 is expected to enhance its coronavirus testing as part of its adjusted procedures. Among those enhancements will be cardiac testing for COVID-19 positives, according to Yahoo Sports' Pete Thamel. Bob Bowlesby, the Big 12 commish, has been supportive of playing almost from the beginning of the discussion. He has repeatedly warned there will be a disruption in the season. If there is, the source said, we'll pull the plug. Now, that means Big Ten Pac-12's decision won't necessarily cause the shutdown tsunami that was speculated. No, on the contrary. CBS Sports reported on Monday that the ACC is absolutely proceeding as if football be played in the fall. A Duke doctor on the ACC Medical Advisory Board took to Twitter on Tuesday saying football could be played in the fall. The SEC Commissioner, Greg Sankey, continues to make the media rounds, saying his conference will take a deliberate approach with the medical experts giving the lead green light to play. There's little doubt which way the SEC is leaning, and that leads to a possible split with the Big Ten and Pac-12 attempting to play in the spring, while the other 3 Power 5 leagues give it a go this fall. The Big 12 may be somewhat of a linchpin to the ACC and SEC, playing as a potential swing decision that could affect the majority one way or another. Stay tuned. This is going to be a fight to the bloodied fini, as it were. I know what you're all saying. What were? All right. More headlines. We got them. And here we go. Let's give you some headlines. We'll give you some scores and then some shout outs and other things if we have the moment, if we have the time. We're 45 minutes, which means that we are on the air for about 1:15. Mike Daniels has a new home. One of the top free agent defensive linemen remaining in the NFL is no longer on the market. The Cincinnati Bengals will sign defensive tackle Mike Daniels in the next day or so, per head coach Zach Taylor. The deal is worth up to $2.7 million per ESPN's NFL god Adam Schefter. The 31-year-old Daniels spent the 2019 season with the Detroit Lions, played only 9 games. He finished with 10 tackles, a sack, and 2 quarterback hits in just 204 snaps. Prior to joining Detroit, Daniels spent the first 7 seasons of his career with the Packers and made the Pro Bowl in 2017. Daniels had 32 pressures, 2 sacks, and 5 quarterback hits in 418 snaps in his final season in Green Bay before a surprising release from the Packers just days before the start of the 2019 training camp. Now, if Daniels does join the Bengals, it's an opportunity for him to revitalize his career. The Bengals needed more depth at defensive tackle after Josh Tupou informed the team last month he's opting out of 2020 due to the concerns regarding coronavirus. Bengals linebacker coach Al Gordon was with Daniels in Detroit as a member of the Lions coaching staff, so there's some familiarity there. Now, Cincinnati has an impressive collection of starting defensive tackles: Geno Atkins, DJ Reader, Rendell Wren, a 2019 fourth-round draft pick, just played in 11 games in his career, while Trey Deshawn is an undrafted free agent signing, so there isn't much depth behind the two starters. Deshawn recorded 95 tackles, including 15 and a half for and 8 sacks in his 4 years at K-State, but he'll be fighting for a roster spot with Daniels in the mix. The Bengals finished dead last in run defense last season, allowing 148.9 yards on the ground per game, while Daniels is more of a pass rushing specialist. He has played defensive end in a 3-4 scheme as well. Any added boost the Bengals get helps as the season draws near. Okay. Wow, where did that come from? All right, we continue going. Steve Tisch. Hillary Tisch, jewelry designer, gemologist, and daughter of New York Giant co-owner Steve Tisch, died on Monday. She was 36. Cause of death is not yet officially known, but in a statement, Steve Tisch noted that his daughter suffered from depression, according to the Associated Press. Hillary was a kind, caring, and beautiful person. Her mother, sisters, brothers, and I are devastated by her passing. It leaves a hole in our hearts and our lives. She, like so many others, bravely fought the disease of depression for as long as she could. We love and will miss her dearly. Our family is utterly heartbroken and is mourning its tragic loss. We ask for privacy during this very difficult time. Fellow Giants co-owner John Mara also released a statement offering deepest sympathy and support for the Tisch family. Now, Hillary was a founding partner of Los Angeles-based Doan. She also volunteered with Operation Smile, a nonprofit that provides free surgeries to people with cleft lips and cleft palates. Our hearts and our sympathies and our condolences go to the Tisch family upon their loss. All right, and we got more headlines for you here on this broadcast. So here we go. The Major League Baseball has announced the suspensions after the Astros-A's base brawl. And here we go. Tuesday afternoon, Major League Baseball and League Vice President of Baseball Operations Chris Young announced discipline stemming from Sunday's benches clearing base brawl between the Oakland Athletics and Houston Astros. And oh, is it severe? Here are the penalties. And I don't see our beloved effects, but sound effects v sound effects. And you know we gotta use them. We do use them on this very show. So where are the effects? Oh, thank you. Ramon Laureano, athletic center fielder. 6 games and a undisclosed fine for charging the Astros dugout and causing the benches to clear. Alex Clintron, Astros hitting coach. 20 games and an undisclosed fine for his role in inciting and escalating the conflict. Laureano's suspension is equivalent to 16 games in a normal 162-game season. He is appealing the suspension and is eligible to play until the appeal is heard. Now, Clintron's suspension is equivalent to 54 games, and his 20-game ban is believed to be the longest ever given to an MLB coach. His suspension begins Tuesday night. Now, suspensions for benches clearing incidents are typically 3 to 5 games for position players, 5 to 10 for pitchers in a 162-game season, and it's not uncommon for coaches or managers to receive a few games depending on their role. Now, MLB vowed to crack down on fighting this year, and here's what Section 5.2 of the 2020 Operations Manual, the collectively bargained document that outlines health and safety protocols amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, says about the pugilistic sanatoriums. Finding and instigating fights are strictly prohibited. Players must not make physical contact with others for any reason unless it occurs in normal and permissible game action. Violations of these rules will result in severe discipline consistent with past precedents, which discipline shall not be reduced or prorated based on the length of the season. Now, each manager, Bob Melvin, told reporters that we understand. You do the best you can with these things. Obviously, we don't want to get into a brawl like that. We understand protocol. Unfortunately, it happened. We all know. We've talked about it. Everyone knows what's at stake here. End quote. The 7th inning brawl started after Laureano took exception to being hit by a pitch for a second time in the game and third time in the series. He exchanged words with pitcher Humberto Castellanos as he made his way to first base and later jogged with Clintron. Laureano charged the dugout and was intercepted by former A's teammate Justin Garneau. Laureano claims he charged the dugout after Clinton said in Spanish something you don't say about my mother. Clintron denied making a comment about Laureano's mother through the Astros. His suspension is the longest for an on-field incident since Kenny Rogers was suspended 20 games for a physical confrontation with 2 cameramen in 2005. Clintron said in a statement, "I accept MLB suspension. We'll learn from this." The Astros already have had multiple run-ins with the opponents this year. 2 weeks ago, Dodger reliever Joe Kelly was suspended 8 games for throwing a pitch behind Alec Bregman's head and taunting Carlos Carrera. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts was suspended 1 game as well. Kelly is appealing his suspension and is currently on the injured list. Now, prior to the COVID-19 shutdown, the Astros drew the ire of countless players across the league as a result of their sign-stealing scandal. Dodgers star and reigning NL MVP Corey Bellinger ripped the Astros for their Bellinger, ripped the Astros for their weak apology, and Commissioner Rob Manfred for what he considered a light punishment. The Astros have 2 hitting coaches on their staff, Clint Tron and assistant Troy Snitker. It's unclear whether Snitker will take over as main hitting coach during Clinton's suspension, or will the club add a temporary replacement if they're allowed to do so. The Athletics are 12-5 and have the most wins in baseball. In the early going, the Astros are 7-9 and were swept by the A's this past weekend. They are 4.5 games back in the AL West. Is their largest division deficit in 4 years. They have 7 games remaining this season. August 28th to 30th in Houston, and September 7th through 10th in Oakland. Now, while we're on Major League Baseball, let's get with the scoreboard. And boy, what a scoreboard. That's right. Let's get to it. Everything except one game is a final. But still, we must report. Okay, we got one game. Still playing in the 10th, but it may be over before the shouting of the the fans aren't in there, so the shouting of their neighbors. There you go. Okay, it is a final. That's right, the dogs of war are barking. This game has gone final. Giants over the Astros 7-6, 7-12-0 for the Giants, 6-10-0 for the Stros. We don't have a winner or losing pitchers yet, but the players of the game are Pence, the San Francisco left fielder, 2 for 2, a run, a homer, and 3 ribs. Bregman, the Houston third baseman, 1 for 2, a run, a home run, an RBI, and 3 walks. This must have been the final in extra innings club, because the final in 10 innings, Blue Jays 5, Marlins 4, 5-7-1 Jays, 4-4-2 Marlins. Cole gets the win for the Blue Jays. He's 1-0. Tarpley gets the loss for the Marlins. He's 2-1. Ryu, the Toronto pitcher, pitched 6 good innings. Gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, got 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Hernandez, the Miami pitcher, went 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 stinking walk. Cincinnati over the Royals in 10 innings, 6-5, 6-10-3 for the folks from Cincinnati, and 5-11-0 for the Claymate. There we go. Okay, let's keep going. Yankees beat the Braves 9-6, 9-6-2 for the Yanks, 6-8-2 for the Braves. Montgomery gets the win for the Yankees. Toussaint gets the loss for the Braves. Britton gets the Britain gets the feathery help. There you go. Your players of the game are Britton, New York Yankee pitcher, pitched 1 full, gave up no hits, no earned runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Montgomery, the pitcher for New York, is 6 innings in the book. Excuse me. 6.0 innings pitched, 4 hit, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Oh, joy and rapturous. Okay, I have a feeling we are. Anyway, let's get going. Final in 10. Orioles over the Phillies, 10-9, 10-16-1 for the Orioles, 9-11-1 for the Phils. Slusher has kicked the uprights. He's 1-1. Guerrera is 1-2, and Latkins gives the Orioles his first save. Bruce Philadelphia, the DH, 3 for 5, 2 runs. Hybrid store, a third lake. Okay, let me just. Oh boy. Okay. Let's keep going and rolling on. White Sox beat up on the Tigers 8-4. Boston winner, he's 2-0. Alexander, the loser, he's 3-1. Foster 2-0 in the win. Alexander hit up. Lift mission. Okay. Foster 2-0, Alexander 1-1. Jimenez for the White Sox have one. What was it? Oh yeah, Foster, Chicago pitcher, 2 innings. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. Cubs over the Cleveland Indians, 7-1. We can all list their from see. All right. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. 7-11-1 for the Cubs, 1-4-1 for the Indians. Okay, winning pitcher Lester, he's 2-0. Plutko is all right. We will see to it that everything follows. All righty, let's keep going. Haywood 3-for-4, run a home run, and oh boy. All right, Jimenez for the White Sox, 2-for-4, run, homer, and 4 ribs. Foster, White Sox pitcher, pitched 2 innings full. No runs, no least poisonous motorcycle, whatever. Cubs 7-1 over the Indians, 7-11-1 for the Cubs, 1-4-1 for the Indians. Lester gets it. For the Cubbies, he's 2-0, and Plutko is a 1-up. You knew. Anyway. Lester, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Haywood for Chicago, right fielder, 3-for-4, a run, a homer, and 4 RBIs. Nationals over the Mets 2-1, 2-9-0 for the Nets, 1-7-0 for the Mets. Scherzer gets to split the uprights and go 1-1 for that little Bonmont. Porcello gets a loss. He goes 1-2, and Hudson gets his third star. Let's see. So we continue on our merry little chase way. Or do we now? Yeah, we do. Okay, I think we gave these yesterday. Yeah, we did. Okay, thank you. A definitely star opponent. Okay, we got about 3 minutes left. We're going to pay heed and say goodnight to all of you. I don't believe we have literally hit the 30-minute mark in our little broadcast. And there I go, tuckering out again. Anyway, we're getting a little sleepy here, so I'm going to just say hello to my friends on Facebook, Twitter, and of course Instagram. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. We had a short show, 30 minutes. It's now gone beyond that, so thank you all for watching. Back to our regular time and our regular insanity. Till then, Steve the Baxman Baxley for everyone at Clark's Lake at Retailer. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up, as I said. Thank you for tuning in, and good night, everybody.